All right, so this is going to be my little presentation post-mortem on how I think the project went. As you can see here, we've got coins added in, a little currency, as well as some quests here that you can do. I'll show the first quest here, I guess technically the second one. Pick up your first item, cleared. So you now have the quest done. So, what went right with this project? Well, currency, which you get for beating enemies, as well as the quests, were both ended up being much simpler than I expected they were, which made it a lot easier for me to get them added into this game. Something went wrong. Well, I tried to spread this work out over the 2-3 weeks or however long we had to do this project, but ended up leaving a vast chunk of it until the last week, fortunately, just due to other arrangements and then getting busy. And then unfortunately, during this last week here, I have ended up getting sick, and I'm still under the weather now, which has made it really hard for me to finish the project, and ended up with me unfortunately having to leave the shops out, as I have not been able to concentrate for more than a little bit of time here. So fortunately, that'll happen, but it is what it is. So what did I learn from this? Well, realistically, since this was my first time working on somebody else's project, I learned it was a little more difficult than I thought it would be working on someone else's project. Just as everybody has their own coding style, their own way of doing work. So and even if they're somewhat similar to the way I may work, their differences, which make it a little harder to figure out what did this previous programmer was try to achieve. What are these things all doing? So I think it was a good experience for sure. But yeah, it was a little more difficult than I thought it would be, but it was nice to do. Some things people could learn from me. If you're gonna spread the work out, try and make sure you have most of it done earlier on, so that the last week or so it's just you're tidying up and trying to get the last little cleanup done. That'd be a good lesson as well. Get it done quicker than you need to. It's always better to have it done early instead of done late. Yeah, that's my little post-mortem here. I think the project went okay. There's more that could have been done with it. Fortunately, I just couldn't get to it, so maybe another time. We'll see what happens.